Wow. Did you see last night's episode of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days? Because if you did, then you know that we've got plenty to talk about. But if you didn't, you're about to find out why we've got plenty to talk about. So let's begin this one with Rick and Trisha. And yeah, some people have to learn to have more self-worth.
Answer, maybe because of my uncle's pressure, but I'm really excited. And also my family is very excited to hear that response.
I felt bullied in this decision because I really wanted to be with Trish, and the only way that I would be able to is to agree to have a baby.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to a 52-year-old grown man literally sit there and tell you one simple thing. Tell you that he was bullied. Huh? Only people that are literally moving mad would sit there and say that I was bullied into agreeing that I'm going to get Trisha pregnant once we are married. Honestly, that is utterly ridiculous. If you are at a certain age, if you are at an adult age, if you're at an age where you've moved out of your parents' home, or you're at an age where you've got a job, at an age where responsibility is something that you now have to do because your parents can't look after you anymore, understand this. You can't sit here and say that you was bullied into doing something. Are you crazy? The older that we get, the more we learn that everything that we do in this life is by choice. Because the choices that we make are literally, at the end of the day, down to us agreeing to do so. We can say that we was coerced. We can say that we was peer pressured. We can say that we had no choice because somebody said that this is the way. We can say it was an ultimatum, but really and truly, we are always in power of choosing to say no. Just as sometimes saying no can be rather frightening, which I do understand. But either way, though, if you agree to something that you don't want to agree to, just understand the only person that's accountable is the person that agreed, which would be who? The person that you look in the mirror every single day. But then again, many people avoid looking in the mirror. And that would explain a lot of narcissistic people in this world. But let's continue though. My apologies. Let's not forget the key point here. Even Trisha knows that this man's only agreed to want to give her children because he was convinced he was pressured by her family. But she's happy with that. Who in this world should be happy having a child, bringing a whole human being into this world based on pressure, not because they want to? Whew, the beginning of a disaster. But let's get into it.
She probably saw that my ex had texted me.
Is this the same ex you went to see in Colombia?
Yes. Years ago, I got a text message from my ex, and she was telling me that.
Let's read this. I am human. I felt something nice for you. It is obvious that you marked beautiful things on me. Ooh, this is spicy. But of course, in pure Rick fashion, he's trying to really explain information in his low, slow, centered tone voice. So you can feel sorry for him. So you can sympathize with him. So you can understand why he made this mistake. Why he just can't help but to just make such choices that he knows that are not good choices to make. Shut the hell up.
She misses the times that we had together and responded inappropriately.
The way he said I responded inappropriately, as if like we should feel sorry for him, is crazy work. Some of the most beautiful times of my life have been with you. Look at this man. Look at this man. You know what he's doing, right? We'll get into that one.
He told me that he's not talking to his ex, that it's just completely over between Rick and that girl. But they start talking.
Let's just call a spade a spade. Why the hell did you believe this man in the first place? This man paid literally to go over to Colombia so he can enjoy his Colombian woman. All because you did not text him back for a day or two. He paid to go to a whole other country to have a lot of fun with his ex. And she's acting surprised by this. This is why I said at the very beginning of the video, some people just don't understand their own self-worth. And this really brings us to the key question itself we have in hand. Do you think Trisha will ever, and I mean ever be reality ready to recognize that she simply has been moving mad. By what? By choosing to still stay in a relationship with this man. By choosing to introduce this man to her family. By then choosing to then want to force this man to put this man in an ambush in a situation where he must now give her kids. Why in the hell would you want to have kids with a man that has already shown you that when things get tough or when he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to do what? He's going to look somewhere else. Even if that means going back to an ex. Honestly, I believe this could be this could be debatable. But what is worse? Somebody cheating on you with someone new that they stumbled across, or someone cheating you with an ex. Because I mean, look at it this way, the difference between the two is that someone new they've stumbled upon isn't someone that they already had feelings for. An ex is somebody that's already had a home in their heart and a home around them. And she wanted to forgive this man and still want to have a child with this man.
Talking while we are at my father's house. Like, I love him. We talk about the babies, the future.
Correction, you spoke about the babies. You did. Am I supposed to feel sorry for somebody who made these choices?
My dad just gave him a blessing.
This is really the end and the final chapter.
I mean, I truly hope it is the end of their chapter. I truly hope that this is the end of their relationship, because their relationship is nowhere near and never has been and never will be healthy. But I also question something else. Do you believe that Rick is somebody that actually has the ability to be a loyal man? Or do you believe that potentially the reason why his relationship never works is because infidelity has always happened in every single one? Do you think he's one of these people that just can't help himself? That when he meets one woman, he generally does initially believe he wants to be with just that woman. But then when things start to go a little bit, he's somebody that's quick to then look elsewhere, entertain himself elsewhere. Is Rick really the kind of person that represents the brand of reality ready? Or the brand of moving mad? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But now we're going to move on to the next one. And this one is all about Jovon. And this young man is a very interesting dude. I say young man, he's probably the same age as me. But anyway, the way he behaves is like a young man. Let's put it that way. Or a young boy, shall we say.
You know, I did get you a ring.
Okay, you sent me your money and I bought a ring that's under $100. That's turned my finger green.
But that's what
I
you wanted.
thought it's just a substitute ring.
If Jovon does not want Annalyn to be his wife moving forward, if he does not want to appreciate her, I'm pretty sure there'd be plenty of men in this world that would happily want her. Happily would want to be around such a beautiful woman. Such a fiery soul. Such an exotic mind. Sure, there'd be plenty of men lining up. But why do I say this? Why do I say that if he does not want to be with her, well then, I'm sure there'll be plenty of men already lining up for her. Very simple. This man was comfortable with the idea of his wife wearing a ring that was under $100 that was turning her finger green. Green. Now listen, the price isn't the factor. The factor is that we know that if it's $100, it's probably not going to be a sustainable ring. We know it's going to be a ring that is going to be quite wear and tear, and it is simply going to do what? In her case, go green. So the fact that he didn't even have this notion, this intention of arriving at the Philippines with money saved to then go take her out ring shopping to buy her a better ring, even if the better ring would have been $200, $300. Hell, it could have been $150, but as long as it didn't go green and it was a better quality than the one before, well, then at least you would have gone there with good intentions. But the fact that he said, oh, but I already sent you money for a ring. He didn't know that he's going to need to update that ring. The fact that he didn't care to even think about it is atrocious. Because you see, a man that truly loves his woman, if there's a situation where he can only buy a ring of a certain quality to begin with because of said reasons, it is cool. If she's okay with it, it's cool. But at the same time, as a man, you know you're always going to make sure at one point you're going to buy one that's even better. One that truly represents how you feel about her. And price isn't the factor. It's just the fact that one that goes green isn't going to do that. And he should have known that buying one under 100 was most likely going to go green. Yeah. But let's dive into this one, though.
Much is that US?
That's 268 in dollar. 268, yeah.
There you go. $268. Okay? USD is how much she needs to buy the ring that she's looking at. But how did he react? Body language is everything. Look at his body language right now.
No, we didn't really have a budget, but he's not sure. Yeah.
I can come back, bro.
We'll do what? We'll come back. Now listen. If you know you don't have the funds, I can understand. No, I can understand saying, you know what, we'll come back. But what made him think that they were gonna go looking for wedding rings in a window shopping setting? Is he okay? That's something that you do before you get married. That's something that you do when you're trying to get an idea of what your partner would like. That's something, sometimes even your partner will, you know, casually walk past a jewelry store and be like, oh, that one's nice. So I'd understand on that premise. Context is key, right? But in this situation, he's literally said, yeah, let's go out. Let's go shopping for some rings. And then said, oh, we'll come back. Which isn't necessarily a massively bad thing. It's just that you're now making her look like a fool. It feels as if he didn't fully communicate with her because, you see, there was even the conversation, the question of, did you guys discuss a budget? The fact that you went out and you didn't even discuss a budget is a problem. He should have been like, listen, I want to take you out. See, a real man would do this. A real man, to be fair, within the first 24 hours, 40 hours maximum of landing in the Philippines, would have been like, baby, let me do that again. He would have been like, baby, I know I gave you $100 for a wedding ring, but I know that ring doesn't really truly represent how I feel about you. Because it's a ring that you had to go and choose on your own, not a ring that I went to choose to be able to put on your finger. So I've got two options for us here. We're going to go out tomorrow, first thing in the morning. We're going to go to a ring shop. Okay, this is going to be my budget. And in that ring shop, we are going to decide which one best represents us so you can wear it on your finger. Simple as that. See, that's what he should have done. But you see, Jovon's the kind of person that will fly in and then just complain. And then wonder why Annalyn's always complaining. Because you don't do anything to really keep her on her toes. You don't really do anything to keep her happy. You do things that just frustrate her. Things that make her second guess things. Things that make her believe that you don't want to actually be with her. And let's dive in and continue why.
You can come back.
Yeah. Because I got to sort out my bank stuff. You know?
Okay. Why would you bring me ring shopping if we're not going to buy anything anyway?
Exactly.
What's the point of going out?
Just to get an idea of what you want.
I feel so...
To get an idea, that's what you do before marriage, my friend. It's okay. Jovon only knows one life, and that is moving mad. Definitely not reality ready, but maybe you think otherwise.
So humiliated. I can't even have the cheapest ring. It's not just a jewelry. It's a symbol of our marriage.
Let's let this sink in here. She said two key things that I've said myself. Whoa, actually one that I said and another one I didn't say. She said cheapest ring. Cheapest ring. Like I said, it'd be very different if he had communicated prior and said, listen, this is the budget. Before we go out, this is my budget. But he didn't do that. He gave her hope that she can go and pick any ring that she wanted. And you know what? Because she clearly didn't want to stress you out financially too much, she even went and picked the cheapest ring. Did you not understand how great that is? Do you know how many men that would take out their women and the women will pick out one that is ridiculously expensive and be like, yeah, I don't know about that one. She picked up the cheapest one because she was thinking about your bank account. I mean, at the same time, she also does understand that your bank account is also her bank account, so she knew not to go too crazy with it. Smart. But either way, though, this is why it's not looking good for him. And I can understand her frustrations, why she's embarrassed.
It is 6 years to be together in person. He never applied for spousal visa, and now I still don't have a ring.
Quite tragic, to be honest, isn't it? And this is why she feels as if this man doesn't even want her. You know, he took him a long time to apply for the spousal visa, and now we're here for the ring, and he's literally moving mad about the whole ring situation. Who can blame the girl? Who can blame the woman?
Once again, he is making me feel like he's not invested in our relationship. That was embarrassing. A little bit. You just don't care, don't you?
Leave him. Plenty of men out there that would love to appreciate you. Leave this clown. If the storyline is exactly how he portrays him to be, then she really needs to sit there and really think long and hard about how she values herself. Okay? Does she value herself to be with a man that wants to continuously, by the seams of it, disappoint her? But don't get me wrong though, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh when I say leave him. Maybe there's a way to work around this. You know what there is? There is. Simply by having a conversation where you both listen to each other and you both actually not just listen, but then you put the actions behind the conversation. But hold on a minute. That's what they've been doing the whole bloody season, having conversations and actions not coming after them. Or at least we haven't seen the actions coming after them. It seems to me as if each time these two have a conversation about something, they have the conversation, but then the next day or the next episode, they're now having a conversation about something else as well. It's like, how many problems do you two have? 6 years, and you've got all these problems happening. But this is why you don't marry somebody that you haven't met. This is why you don't marry somebody that you haven't actually lived with and spent time with. So really and truly, both are at extreme fault in this situation. They both rushed the process, and this is what happens. Neither one of them was reality ready to say, hold on, baby, maybe we should wait until we meet first before we get married. Both of them said, nah, we want to be moving mad. Well, please do let me know your thoughts regarding those two stuff in particular. And I know you're still here. Why? Because why would you not be here still? So please do hype the video. That would be very much appreciated. All the points that you get for hyping, always keep them for me. Why not? But now let's dive into Elise. Elise is somebody that absolutely crashed out last week. And now she's on a revenge. Now she's on an apology tour. Why? Let's get into it.
Cool, and I shouldn't have told everyone in the bar. I think that I was just really triggered. The fact that I didn't know you lived with her, that just brought up a ton of emotions for me, and the actions were atrocious.
You know, one thing that we have to identify here is that she said this so many times now that her reaction of her behavior is due to the fact that she was triggered. Why? Because he did not tell her the truth. And what was that? The truth was that he was living with a female friend that he did not tell her about. Not only was he living with a female friend, or still is living with her, but also living there rent-free. So of course, this is probably going to bring up trauma for many people and trigger many people. Of course, how we handle it is very key. Now, with Elise, her way of handling it to begin with was by crashing out. But now, because she crashed out and she feels embarrassed by her behavior, her choice is to now apologize. You know, this man still has... He's apologized, but...
Last night, and I feel like if we have some alone time and like I can explain to him how sorry I really am, I'll have time to like win him back.
Why should you be the one winning him back?
It's like I'm falling in love with you, like I am. Like things like last night, it makes me hesitate, on...
Bottom line is I am just...
Talk about give a dog a bone and then let the dog know that even though I've given you the bone, you did this wrong, so you now need to earn yourself back. And in some situations, it's understandable. But in this situation, we don't know if he's doing it because he genuinely means it in a way that is not a negative way, or if he's doing it in a manipulative way. Give me your thoughts. Do you think that when he gave her the bone of saying that, I do love you, or I'm falling in love with you, do you think he was saying that out of manipulation because he knew straight after that he was going to say something that was going to put her in a position where she'd become even more apologetic and become even more desperate to do things to please him? Or do you think he was saying it because that is generally how he feels and he's not trying to use it as a weapon? He's just trying to let her know that this this is exactly where my feelings are going, but you are sabotaging him right now, and I would like you just to cool down. Give me your thoughts on which intention do you think his was. Yes. But let's continue.
Just so triggered that I didn't know that you lived with her, and it's just bringing up a lot of emotions. And I think just
You got answers. You got answers.
You see what I mean? She's saying it again. And to be fair, the reason she's saying it again is because, you see, and initially, I initially forgot. And I said, maybe she's saying it again because he's not giving the answers to resolve the situation. But then I thought, hold on a minute, he did give an answer. It's just that the issue is, the problem with her is that she's just not willing to accept it yet. And that's why he does say to her, you just have to choose to accept it. The question is, will she ever accept his answer? Will his answer ever be good enough of why he decided not to tell her the truth regarding the fact that he was living with a woman, or still is living with a woman who's in pain for everything? I would say that sometimes there were certain lies or certain information that is withheld that can be understandable if they're therefore explained in a way that is understanding, right? Give or take. Even though I believe that in relationships you should keep 100 no matter what. If you can't keep 100 in your relationship no matter what, well then that's a problem in my opinion. Because it's something that shows that there's a lack of trust of being able to be honest with your partner. But hey, that is here or there. Either way though, the matter of fact is this man lied and triggered her. So what she needs to think long and hard about is, should she even be with a man that is going to trigger her? That is the question. But let's continue.
I feel like I might be projecting the past traumas of my exes onto Josh, and that's not fair to him. You are so cute. We're fortunate that Josh is willing to give me another chance and not throw this all away for one crazy Elise escapade.
But I don't want that to hold me back.
You know, 1000% she's bringing her past into this relationship. 1000%. But it doesn't mean that she's wrong in this situation. Context is key. Is she doing this in a way of self-sabotaging because she's always bringing things in from the past? Or here's the thing. Let's say, for example, Josh had done nothing wrong. I would say, you know what? She's moving mad. But he's the one that triggered her. And in this position, she has two choices. Either one, accept the reason that he has given you for triggering you, or don't accept it. She seems to be on the side of where she still doesn't want to actually accept it, which means that she's better off walking away rather than sticking around, because the chance of her ever accepting anything that he may do in the future that also involves some form of a lie or some form of a trigger, she's probably still going to be walking on eggshells within herself thinking, I don't know if I can trust this guy now. So more of the situation is the trust that they had has now gone because she's somebody that clearly doesn't have the ability to walk away from things that have triggered her regarding her past. Which, listen, is fine because I do truly believe in life that people should be with somebody that doesn't trigger them. But at the same time, sometimes we can be triggered by people unintentionally. When I say that, what I mean is sometimes someone can say something casually and it's something that they're just saying and it can trigger you, but they don't mean it that way. But then there's sometimes when people can lie to you and then that triggers you. That is two different things because one involves someone lying to you. The other one involves just someone having a conversation and they said a certain word that kind of made you think, oh, damn, or a phrase. You're like, oh, what? Would this happen to you? Or they tell you about maybe experience they've been through themselves. And you're like, what? That is completely different because that is someone just having a general conversation and being transparent. The other one is not. It is called lying to you. The question is he somebody that's always going to lie? That is the question. What do you think?
Back from bringing Elise fully into my life. I can see that she really, really cares. She's shown that she's worthy of, getting to know my son.
This whole conversation about son. How is Elise showing herself worthy to be meeting your son? One, you couldn't even tell her the truth. Two, after finding out the truth, she then had a whole crash out in public. Whether it was a crash out that was well-deserved or not, either way though, she done some crazy stuff. So basically, what should he learn from this situation? Is Elise the kind of woman that you want to bring around your child if you know the fact that once she sees red, she does things that are just absolutely nuts? Basically, she has displayed so far that she doesn't have a power or a self-control being able to hold it in when things go crazy. So if something doesn't go away, you know that she's always going to be explosive. What if she does that in front of your child? So the fact that he believes that she now deserves the right to see his son is absolutely crazy. And also, she's only been there in Australia for a few days. He's acting like they've been together physically for like months. That hasn't been the case. You spoke for months. But in person, whew, too much has happened for him to say he's comfortable with his child and meeting her. Wow, that says a lot about Josh's character in particular. Please do give me your thoughts on that one. Do you think he's reality ready by saying what he's saying? Or do you think he's simply moving mad by suggesting that Elise is ready to meet his child? Now we're going to move on to the next one in particular. And this one here is all about Lisa and Daniel.
There's one thing you didn't fulfill last night for me. One promise.
What's that?
Oral sex.
Oh.
Why?
All right, I'll make it up to you. Okay?
Promise.
I promise you.
You better keep this promise because I've done so much.
Sorry. Ugh. You know when you hear something, and for some reason when you hear something, it starts to feel like reality, and then you start checking yourself. I'm like, it's like when I heard that conversation about the oral, like I just started getting a very strange smell. I'm doing too much. I'm trolling too much. Let me be kind. Okay? So let's get into the nitty and gritty here. So obviously she wants oral from this man, but then she also says to him that I've done so much for you. Now, of course, when she talks about I've done so much for you, she's not talking about just in the bedroom. She's saying that I've also done so much for you in terms of giving you money. I've come to you. So what you could at least do is at least give me something that I want. I mean, listen, I understand what she's saying. I completely get it. But if you do things in life expecting a reward, please be ready to be disappointed. We should never do any... There's only one thing. Maybe there's more than one thing. But this is the one thing I can think of right now that we should do in life and definitely have an expectation for. And that is going to work and expecting to be paid on time. That 1000% we should always expect, without a shadow of a doubt, you know. But when it comes to expecting things from people on a general basis, well, always be prepared for the worst, because a lot of the time people will let us down. But of course, if you're one of those people in this world who are very fortunate to be around a circle of people that will never let you down, well, you know what? I love you for that. But nonetheless, though, let's continue with this calamity between Daniel and Lisa.
I'm sorry, okay?
At this point, every penny has to go towards an immigration lawyer, getting you to America, doing what we need to do. I cannot send any more money. I can't even spend money anymore. I'm done.
You know how hard Nigeria is, okay?
It's like this guy's not listening. I cannot send you no money. And he goes, but you know how Nigeria is. How is it? Are you telling me that in Nigeria you cannot earn money? Boy, why are you lying for?
So maybe I have to call you and ask you for assistance.
You have to try not to, because I have to save for us to get you to America.
He needs to decide what's more important, the visa or him getting money while he's there. He needs to slow down this allowance situation. Like, you sound so pathetic. You're embarrassing Nigerian men out here. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, not as if that is hard anyway. Nigerian men do have a very bad rep in this world anyway. So yeah, it is what it is. So much to the point that I get offended if somebody asks me if I'm Nigerian. I'm like, how dare you say that? And really and truly, all of us Africans should be sticking together. But hey, Nigerians, you did it to yourself. But anyway, let's continue.
I miss you so much.
When I saw this man shed real tears, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I was like, did they recruit my man from Bollywood or something like this? No, Nollywood, that's the one. I was like, what's going on here? He dropped the tears. I was like, he's really invested in this character. He's really invested in selling this. He's really invested in getting that green card. But then he said this.
Baby, I can't do it. You have to walk away from me. I can't do it.
Go back to your country and she might change her mind on most of the promises, like bringing me to her country, you know, the visa and the legal yet. So it's very hard for me to say goodbye.
And then he said this. This is why he was crying. This is where the tears generate from. The tears generate from the idea that just maybe, maybe the visa won't go through if, Lisa changes her mind by the time she gets on the flight. That's why he's crying. He's like, well, she's already told me there's no money coming in, so maybe she's also telling me there'll be no visa as well. Maybe I pushed her too far. Those tears are coming from worrying about the visa may not be certified. It may not be secured. That's the word. Or generally speaking, he may actually be crying simply because he really does truly love Lisa, and he's really truly sad to see her go because she is his one and only true love. If you believe that to be the case, let me know. Let me know. Do you think that this is a real reality situation where the emotions are legit? Or do you think it's a moving mad situation where the tears are nothing but just because of the visa? I would love to hear your thoughts. Let's not mess about here, folks. Let's not mess about. But now we're going to move on to Birkan and Laura.
100% a little thing. It was one tiny little thing. We got drunk. We were on the couch. I tried to kiss him. Big deal.
Still in your life, and you kept this from a secret.
Nothing happened.
And you are still saying nothing happened. It doesn't matter. You still didn't tell me this thing.
So, unfortunately for Laura, she's completely wrong in this whole conversation. You decided to stay friends with a man that you decided to stay friends with a man that you made advances to and rejected you, which is fine. But then you found someone new. This is where that person now has to go away because it's clear that your feelings are compromised for Michael. But nah, she doesn't want to hear that.
He's kept a lot of secrets from me, and I'm still here. That pisses me off.
You see what I mean by expectations? So what? Because he's kept a lot of secrets and you have forgiven him and you've decided to still stick around, you think that therefore you expect him to keep the same energy for you? That's not how life works, unfortunately. And she should know this. A woman of her age, she should already know this by life experiences. Oh my days. I'll remember this. Maybe one day, I'll be with somebody and I'll be like, you cheated on me, you done all these things, but I'm gonna forgive you. But you see, what I do is, you're gonna make you have to forgive me too. Does that seem healthy? Come on now, level of stupidity. I can't believe this woman was a teacher, but then again, at the same time though, being a teacher just means that you're smart at just teaching people. It doesn't mean your life's smart. It is two different things, because how many people in this world have been a success after school, but yet when they were in school, the man and teacher that told them that they will never amount to nothing, and then they become bigger than anything. So really and truly, when it comes to life skills and teachers really, having common sense. I mean, I should know, because when I used to work in schools, I came across a lot of teachers with, lack of common sense. If you're watching me now, yes, that was a personal attack. It wasn't really, but I mean it. Let's continue.
Or just don't talk.
Maybe when you grow up a little bit, you'll learn to communicate a little better.
You're one of the young husband. Deal with it.
Wow.
I wish we never met.
I'm bothered enough because Birkan was under the impression that I was in love with you. That man kept pushing and pushing and pushing. That I said no to us having a relationship.
The maddest thing about it, she stormed in this conversation trying to blame Micah for telling Birkan the truth. I mean, listen, darling, it's your fault for keeping Micah in your life in the first place. Simple as that.
But you were the one that asked. And from that, he got very upset, and I tried to reassure him it was a year ago.
Backhanded way of trying to sabotage it.
How long have you been here with him? How long have you been here with him? I don't know.
Now she wants to accuse Micah of trying to sabotage her relationship. I mean, listen, even if that was the case, you gave him the loaded gun. So yeah, still on you.
Why he insists that I'm in love with you? I really don't.
I mean, you did jump on a plane and come to my rescue.
But no, that's not something I want to happen. Anyhow, we're friends. I don't want to be more.
It is very, very clear that she obviously still wants Michael. Very clear. Very, very clear. And she makes it more clearer right now.
At the end of the day, I want you to be happy. All I ever heard was little stories here and there about him from you.
Believe Michael when he says he doesn't have any feelings for me at all, romantically. But I think ultimately he does have my best interest in mind, and I think he does care about the future of my relationship with Birkan.
And ultimately, you just want him to want you. It's just that simple. I'm going to put a little spanner into the situation here. What if Laura is only entertaining Birkan because she's trying to use him to make Michael jealous? Maybe she was hoping that meeting another man would make Michael want to step up. Because the funny thing about this conversation is that, yes, she made her physical advances towards him a year ago. But she literally asked him again if they could be together literally hours or a day before she was flying to Turkey. That was fresh information. But she hasn't told that information, has she now? I mean, she's lucky that Michael didn't say that. So I didn't forget about that one. So really and truly, we know that her feelings for Michael are still there, pretty much very, very strong. So honestly, Birkan may just be a pawn in her game, just someone to use to try and get Michael to finally want to be with her. Because why else would she make advances of Michael before? Remember, she was like, she basically said to him, if you don't want me to go to Turkey and meet Birkan, then we might as well be together. And he said, no, I'm good. He's rejected you twice. Take the hint. You see, if he had been a man now, the perception of the whole conversation would have been completely different. But hey, now we're going to move on to the next one. This one is all about Sheena and Forrest, as well as his mother, Molly.
I've been thinking about everything, and I feel like last night just strengthened the urge to be with you more. And so maybe I could get a job and start working here for the next few years.
You know, man, finally. The maddest thing about it is about 2 episodes back, Sheena said to me, you should stay here because it's going to be hard for me to come there because you don't have a job. He said, no, I still have to go back because I have to be with my mother. Now, since then, Sheena said, okay, don't worry. We're going to fix this. What she do? She was like, we're going to have sexy time. And the man was able to finally feel the pum pum. Yes. And he had one hell of a time. And now, all of a sudden, hypnotized, sexmatized, pussmatized. Yeah, I made that one up. But anyway. So now he's talking about, oh, how about I'll stay here? And if I stay here, I can get a job. The thing that made me even more question, this is why I'm starting to really believe that Sheena has been manipulating this man to stay there. Because of what she says next. And it's just a pattern of things she does every episode.
To prepare things as well for you to stay here. I'll try to help you find a job. If not, then I could work on my own, find a better job. I'll do what.
This woman is hell-bent on looking after him. She's hell-bent on keeping him there. Hell-bent on keep. I believe that Sheena never had any intentions of going to America. She always wanted him to move to the Philippines. If one day we hear that Sheena made it to America, I'll be hella surprised. But at the same time, though, if she makes it to America, maybe it'll just be on a visitor's basis, but she's always going to go back home. Because I don't really see her being the kind of person that's going to move away from her family. And to be fair, once she moves from the Philippines to America and then she sees that the home that she has in America with him and the lifestyle isn't as good as what she has in the Philippines with the nice big house and the weather. Oh my goodness gracious me. Yeah, I truly do believe more than ever that she never wanted to leave her country. She always wanted to be there. And she's just trying to get Forrest to change his mind. And now she was like, I'll do anything for you. Hey, Sheena, listen, if you wanna work, you know what I mean, do every single thing and I can stay at home and be a complete bum. I can go from being a man into a boy. I mean, to be fair, with the cost of living these days, that's not a bad offer. So, hey, invite me, don't worry. Invite me. But anyway, let's continue.
The K-1 visa, I found out that being on disability, I don't make enough money. So Sheena and I have decided that I'm going to stay here and live here.
Molly's not happy.
You to trust your son for once in a while.
I trust my son. I don't trust you.
Sorry.
The question is, though, is Molly right to not trust Sheena? What are your thoughts on that one? Like I said, for me, I just feel like every week there's always a certain thing that she does. And I really do feel like Sheena's really playing the angle of trying to get Forrest and his mom against each other. Because that seems to be the case every episode now. So again, is she someone that can be trusted? Yeah. Either way, though, one thing that doesn't change is that Molly has to learn one simple thing. She has to learn that it's time to let her son go. She needs to let him continuously make his own mistakes and also allow him to repair his own mistakes. You know, there's a fine line between letting someone have their mistakes and then being there for them in a way that is supportive, but you're guiding them rather than being there for them to then solve it for them. I believe that she's always solved all of his problems. She needs to allow this man to go and do what he's got to do. And when shit hits the fan, just be there for him supportively. That's it. But don't do nothing for him because he needs to learn. If this choice is the wrong choice for him, he has to learn his own. She can't keep trying to protect him. It's just not good. But the question is this, though. Do you think Molly will ever be reality ready to recognize this or not? Is she on the moving mad train? Give me your thoughts. But with that being said, though, like I said before, a lot of things went down with 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, as you saw, obviously, as per this episode. And I know you're still here. Why? Because why wouldn't you? It's a smile, isn't it? Yeah, I know. I'm just playing, but please do subscribe on your way out, as well as also hyping the video if you haven't already, liking the video and commenting down below, okay? Help us grow. But with that being said, have a great freaking day.